Hello. The title of my speech is Knowing When to Leave. Well, I was actually in an abusive relationship, like a long time ago. It's embarrassing to talk about, but hey, at least I'll shed some light to the situation. All right. And, well, to start off, women should always follow their gut and listen to their women intuition. If something looks too good, run. Because it just may be no good for you. But hey, we live and we learn. And also, by me doing this speech, you should be able to know what my topic is about, pretty much, and gain some insight of me and my background and what I've been through. And also, in a relationship, what may look good on the outside may not always seem to be very good, because that person may be going through hell and back. My relationship actually seemed like the perfect romance. It was like a fairy tale, but hey, I was going through it all. Okay. And let's see. To begin with, when I met him, before I even noticed him, it was like, I don't want to talk to this guy, but maybe I should. When I first met him, he was pretty much my chauffeur because he was taking me and my friend home. And I actually met him through my friend, which is a good friend of mine. And he was trying to talk to me, but I was not interested. I was in the back seat. I didn't even look up to look at his face. So I was just ready to hey, dude, drop me home. I don't want to talk to you. Please just take me where I need to be. So that's what happened. I was pretty much stuck up. So, well, he was like, whatever. So, hey, I should have left it at that, but no. Like a couple months after, I went to my friend's aunt's house with her, and she was like, oh, do you remember such and such, Elsinore? I was like, oh, no, I don't remember. She was like, you remember I introduced you to him? And I was like, no, I don't recall. That's when she was like, oh, you were in the back seat. I was like, oh, okay, now I remember. So, I got reintroduced to him because I was unaware that I was ever introduced to him. So I was like, okay. And I said to myself, it seems kind of cute. Okay. And well-mannered. Yeah, he was very polite and everything. I was like, okay, I like that. So, as some time passed by, he did not stay in Miami. He actually lived in New York. So he went back to New York, and then actually I didn't hear from him. We didn't exchange any numbers or anything. So the only way I could hear anything about him was through my friend, because that was that's actually her cousin through marriage. Okay. So when I finally decided hey, I want to, maybe talk to this guy. Because before I was not really interested, and I didn't want no one to talk to me because I was fresh out of a relationship and I was just nursing that. So I didn't want to deal with anybody, didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to see anybody. But now I'm, okay, everything's over with. So I was ready to move on. So when I got the number from my friend, and I spoke to him, and he was very excited to hear from me. He was kind of surprised. But I was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And he told me he's in a relationship. He was currently in a relationship when I reached out to him. And he told me, but I guess he was not, the girl, she was, of course, still in a relationship, but men, you know how they are sometimes. But he said he was not really in a relationship, but him and the girl was still staying together and living in the same home. So that was that. So I don't want to step on nobody's toes. So I was like, okay, well, nice talking to you. And then we left it at that. Then, probably 2-3 months later, he moved down to Miami. And then I went to my friend's aunt's house with her again. I saw him there and we began to chat a little. And he told me what happened. So me and him, we decided to, hey, let's talk. Let's see where it goes. So everything was going very well. Like, just amazing. He was courting me. He was nice. He was like very like well-mannered. He was nice, handsome, smell good, dress good. It's everything. But as the relationship progressed and I noticed he was a tad bit jealous. Like, he didn't want me to speak to the opposite sex. And I was like, okay, maybe he just want me all to himself. Okay, I got a man. So I didn't think nothing much of it. And like, okay, as the relationship progressed, and it was like a year into the relationship, and he asked me to move in with him. At the time, he was living at his brother's house. So I moved in. And when I moved in, I thought I knew him. I thought we were in love. Hey, this is my man. We're in love. I'm going to move in with him. Woo! Amazing. Not. He totally, like, just changed. That's when he began to hit me. And, like, every time when he would hit me, he would just, like, say, oh, I'm sorry, and I love you. And he would cry. And if I would move out, he would come and find me. It's one time, like, I had a scar on my face, like this side. So I had to like really work on it to like fade this scar, because he bit me like an animal. Everything you could think of that was horrible, he did it to me. He was horrible. And it was just like, towards the second year of our relationship, and I was like, no, I can't do this. One time I even lied, like he came home, I guess I was home, and then his brother just came home, and he was always accusing me of sleeping with his brother, because that's how much insecurity that he had within himself. He was insecure, he was jealous, and it was like, I can't win. So when he came, he was like, what are you still doing home? I was like, oh, there was food here, and hey, there's TV, cable. Hey, I relaxed. And he was like, oh, why were you still here? You should have went out, this and that. Because he didn't want me to stay home, because he knew his brother had just came home. And I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? So I pretended that I was pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, you're not. That's not my baby. And he uppercut me. I was like, oh dear Lord. And I thought I was going to die. And I like, as soon as he uppercut me and I started like spitting out blood, and it was just, I couldn't breathe. And it was just like, at that moment, I was like, I can't do this. I love me more. I don't care how much I think I'm in love or I love him, but I love me more. So I decided to leave, but not right that moment. I didn't leave right that moment, but because of course he would have found me and or trying to drag me and, hey, you can't leave me. It was that type of stuff. So made sure we was good, just so he won't be suspicious of anything. Then when I moved out, I went somewhere. I couldn't even go to any family's house. I had to go to a friend's house that he haven't met before. And that's how I was able to get away. Because I was at that friend's house for a while. I couldn't go to any family member's house. And I thank God, like, I was able to live through it, because he used to do bodily harm to me. And it's like, so crazy. And I thank God I'm alive to talk about it. And what seems to look good on the outside, it's not always good. He was just horrible. Insecurities, jealousy, it's just horrible. Well, that's me and my dark story. Thank you for listening.